Radiant team ban.
Well, after a short break, we've made it to our second game of the Sunday Evening Cup Series. I'm NYJohn. This is Fairy Tale versus Lust in what is another match from a different side of the bracket as we swapped up a little bit. It looks like this will go down as a quarterfinal matchup. Winner of this advancing to the semifinals. And, of course, still best of one as all of the games are until maybe the finals for SECS. I'm not entirely sure if it changes up. We'll see when we get there. Bans already coming out from both sides. Fairy Tale taking out Batrider. Meanwhile, we have Wisp and Darkseer taken out by Lust. A final ban will come out from Fairy Tale in a moment. I want to thank everyone that's joined me and stuck with me through the big intermission. I appreciate your viewership. Of course, be sure to check out NADota where they're streaming another match. I believe Hi, This Is Dog versus Aware Gaming is going on over there. So open up both screens. Go ahead and keep me volumized, though, so you can hear me, and we'll get to see Lust in action again. Their first game able to take down what looked like a powerful N8 squad. This time around, some familiar names on the other side in Supa, but the rest of them I don't quite know as well, so we'll have to see what Fairy Tale can do to try and match up against Lust. Lust definitely one of the favorites coming into this tournament to win it all. And first pick is going to be Keeper Light. Magnus is the response from Fairy Tale as well as Shadow Demon. So a good support and a good solo laner are in response to one of the best supports in the game right now in Coddle. And now two more picks will follow from Lust. Of course, Keeper Light opens up opportunities for heroes such as Phantom Lancer if they want to go for that. There's also in the pool if they wanted to pick up perhaps Undying for an aggressive tri-lane. He is available. They can go for a very strong hero like Queen of Pain who could solo very effectively. They can pick up a Luna here. Lots of options. It's hard to go through them all. Even Lone Druid is a very nice choice. They can pick up one of these two selections as we move through the draft. So we'll see in a moment exactly what they want to go for. If we take a look back at the brackets, we can see that to get to this point, it looks like Lust had to beat Karthus OP, which was that team that had a lot of North American talent stocked in it, able to take them down in what must have been a cool first round clash. And meanwhile, we had FNR losing to Fairy Tale. So Fairy Tale beating them to get here. And that was the bracket so far. You can see winner of this going to advance to play either Quick Peek and Back or Phantom Troop, who has already won this. I haven't updated it quite yet. Let's head back to the game and see where we stand. It looks like Queen of Pain and Bounty Hunter are the picks. So Quap, of course, one of the best solo laners there is. You throw her in there, and it's tough to just try and keep up with any hero. Bounty Hunter, a great off laner. We've seen him successful on numerous occasions, too many to count or speak of. Fairy Tale, meanwhile, now have one more pick left. They can go for something like a gyrocopter here if they'd like. Wouldn't mind seeing that. They can go for a jungle hero. It looks like Lust has done a good job of leaving their lineup fairly ambiguous and open-ended. They have a solo bounty you can put either safe lane or long lane, wherever you want to put a tri-lane, and Keeper of the Light can be a part of an aggressive tri-lane or a safe tri-lane. So you can still work a lot of different kinks and go for different strategies with this setup. So it's a little bit harder to identify what your needs are if you're on the side of Fairy Tale. That being said, they have a fair amount of ambiguity as well. I wouldn't mind seeing something like a Nyx pickup here, but they do go for the gyrocopter that I pointed out first, and definitely a good choice. I think gyrocopter, of course, is a very strong hero. No one's going to dispute that, and can operate well in the middle lane against Queen of Pain. Queen of Pain wants to be too aggressive. You hit him up with that Rocket Barrage, and he starts melting. You see, bans are going to be on off laners, as Fairy Tale does not have one of those. Magnus could off lane, but he's not necessarily the best at it, so they'll still focus on heroes like Beastmaster, who's already been taken out. Maybe we'll see Windrunner banned out in a moment. Not entirely sure. And Fairy Tale are going to ban out Nyx, so they're going to take out carries. And that will be the process. Interesting to see. If you were with us earlier in the day, we were casting games for the Alienware Arena Cup, and one of the more popular heroes for Lions Pride who won the tournament was Bane. In fact, they prioritized him to the point where he would be their first pick selection over heroes like Coddle, over heroes like Shadow Demon, and any other hero you could think of, which is really interesting seeing how they value him, and they're from Russia.
Remaining.
Meanwhile, how North Americans, we haven't even seen him picked or
5
banned.
seconds.
Maybe we'll get to see him come into this game because of Gyrocopter, who has good synergy with him, but I wouldn't necessarily bank on it. Tide's going to be taken out by Lust, so I don't want to give up another big team fight ultimate to put with the Magnus. Interesting choice there. Tide doesn't really fit. He's not that great of a laner any longer. We've seen from time to time Fog will play a Tide as a solo middle just to get the farm and to get in Ravage earlier. But obviously if he doesn't get his levels, he really does fall off and he doesn't add too much value to your team. Undying is going to be banned up by Fairy Tail. Very good ban, of course, because Undying would have been huge if they decided they wanted to run an aggressive tri-lane. It would have certainly facilitated great success there. And PL banned out from the side of Lust, and they're probably the side that I would have suspected had an opportunity to pick him. So interesting to note that they don't want him as a part of the game at all. Fairy Tail, meanwhile, we're going to take out Rubik with their final selection, so another support gets banned out. Rubik, tremendous support against a hero like Magnus, so you can understand why they'd want to make sure he is not a part of the pool. If you're just joining me, I'm NYJohn. This is the Sunday Evening Cup Series presented by NADota.com. Thank you for watching. We have Fairy Tail versus Lust in a
10 seconds
quarterfinal matchup. Winner moves on to the semifinals. It's a best of one, so they're all in on this effort. We have a fourth pick coming out in a moment from Lust. What do they want to add to the back of Bounty Hunter, Queen of Pain, and Keeper of the Light? What hero? They could fit a couple more supports in here, or whichever carry they want. Luna, still a part of the pool, so I wouldn't mind seeing the Luna, but they're going to go for a Dragon Knight. And Dragon Knight, a very strong hero, has good pushing potential as well as great damage output, so it definitely likes seeing him. I think the Asian scene maybe values him a little bit more than we do, and they like him in some niche roles, not quite game-to-game basis, but certainly do use him more often than we see in the North American or even European scene. It's a hero that almost hard to understand why he isn't picked more often, because once you have that level 6, he has good damage, he's very tanky, and provides a lot for your team. But look at this, a Zeus pickup from the side of Lust, and this must be a support Zeus. I don't even know what's going on anymore. That's really cool. We don't get to see Zeus ever, but of course with the buff to his ultimate, you can go ahead and use the Thunder God's Wrath every 60 seconds or 70 seconds, is it now? 90 seconds. So I was a little bit off, but 90 seconds is much shorter than what it used to be.
10 seconds
So pretty
remaining.
awesome hero. Of course, if he doesn't get levels, his damage output isn't as
5
great.
seconds remaining.
But if you could keep providing mana to him with the Keeper of the Light, perhaps there's an opportunity for him to just maintain
Reserve time.
pressure with the Arc Lightning as well as the Bolt. And we do see response is going to be Chaos Knight from the side of Fairy Tail, and they're going to try and add one more hero to this. Wisp is not in the pool, so we're seeing a naked Chaos Knight. Usually only see him in conjunction with that Wisp, but here he will not have that to fall back on. Instead, they're going to pick up another hero. They need another support, so perhaps something like a Luna or a Leshrac to work on the back end of a Shadow Demon Disruption. Something that combos up well with that would be a pretty good idea. And once Fairy Tail selects this final hero, will be poised to get into the game and finally start after a pretty long wait between games. I'm sorry about that, but of course that happens when matches take longer than others.
10
We had a fairly
seconds
short one the
remaining.
first time around, so we got lucky, a little bit unlucky that we had to
5
wait longer,
seconds
but
remaining.
no complaints here. And it's going to be Leshrac, so it was one of those heroes that you'd expect.
Radiant
Someone with a
team
hard disable that can chain off very effectively on the back end of Disruption. And now we have both teams poised and ready to go. Lust have to be the favorites going into this game. Like I said before, I only really recognize one person on Fairy Tail's side. Of course, people could be under aliases. There could be various reasons for that, but Lust is a known player. He's been on a lot of good teams. KZZ's strong player as well, usually known for his puck. I believe Crystal, Sully, and Snaking is on the roster as well, so a lot going for them in terms of notoriety and past achievements. And we'll see what Fairy Tail can do to try and combat that if they want to take over and move on in this tournament. Of course, they do have a Magnetar, so they have reverse polarity potential. Their team fight looks a little bit better than that of Team Lust, but Lust are poised to try and get a
10
good
seconds
ganking
remaining.
setup going early with the Bounty Hunter. A really aggressive,
5 seconds
hard carry to
remaining.
take down in the Dragon Knight, and then huge damage with Queen of Pain, Keeper Light, and Zeus. So we're ready to go. This is best of one, and it's underway. Fairy Tale is our dire team. We have Twilight 2008 playing the Magnus, Loki, or Loke. We'll go with Loki. On Shadow Demon, we have Supa playing Chaos Knights, Tube on Leshrac, and Strider XD on Gyrocopter. For our Radiant team, we have Team Lust. We have Snaking on Dragon Knight. KZZ will be on our Zeus. Crystal on Queen of Pain. Lust playing the Keeper of the Light, and that leaves Water on Bounty Hunter. And they do have an unusual legendary Cluckles. So it's pretty cool. Means it came out of one of the newer chests. Little anecdote. Okay, but we're ready to get into the game. Zeus does have a couple of sentries up, so they're going to try and stop this pull from being warded. We do see a tri-lane poised to go in the aggressive style down here towards the bottom lane. There will meet a tri-lane of Lust as well, though, and fighting into the Keeper Illuminate is going to be a little bit difficult. Of course, mentioned how tanky Dragon Knight could be once he gets levels in Dragon's Blood, and it certainly could be a deterrent for the action, but Zeus is a very susceptible target. If they can catch on to Keeper of the Light, he can go down quickly. Both teams seem to have decent odds in this tri-lane, and whoever gets the most of the kills is really going to get going and take this over. I know that seems pretty obvious, but the Dire team are going to need to convert on kills to make this a worthwhile endeavor. The Radiant team are probably going to look for kills of their own with the amount of damage they've decided to select up here. Lust is going to be spotted off, but he does pick up a haste rune, so he's going to rotate towards the middle away from the Dire side, and he did spot them off with the ward, so he knew they were there. Wise rotation. Bounty's going to pull this creep wave back to his tower, and that will allow him to get his farm on a little bit with these creeps. He is solo versus a Magnetar. This is a matchup he should do pretty well in. I wonder if I'll opt to pick up Tranquil Boots. It seems like that would be a good choice against a solo Magnetar who's going to be spamming out that Shockwave pretty often. And we do see some wards coming in to try and block off some of these camps. Lust is going to go ahead, try and stack this, but the sentry should block it. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, we do see aggression early on. Snaking's in trouble. 2 more hits. Down he goes. Supa getting the early kill onto Dragon Knight as he's taken down inside of 1 minute. And from the blind spot, actually he was spotted off by a ward, so I'm not exactly sure how Snaking got caught by that. And now Loki is here as well, so 3 on hand for the Dire, 2 on hand for the Radiant, and they have to be a little bit more cautious than that. They can't be giving up free kills. I mentioned how important it is in terms of gaining momentum to just pick up those kills in the bottom lane, and getting one early is really going to benefit Team Fairy Tale. Meanwhile, middle lane matchup, we do have what will be Queen of Pain versus Gyrocopter. We can see early on Queen of Pain 3 for 4, Gyrocopter 2 for 2. It should be a fairly even effort, you'd suspect. Top lane, though, we see Water's going to put some harass damage onto Twilight. Twilight does have 6 tangos, though, so not too concerned in terms of regenning. And Water actually had some 6 tangos as well. It does pick up his Orb of Venom, so a nice early pickup that we see pretty often on Bounty Hunter players, just so you have some extra slow, some extra damage. And with the Janata Strike, you could outpace him, get some extra harass, and better trades. Meanwhile, a ward does pop down by the pull on the Radiant side, so they're going to stop them from pulling in the future. Bite through the trees. KZZ's going to run into Tube. Tube pops off the Edict. Edict isn't going to do much of anything except for nuke down these creeps and maybe allow him to get a last hit here. We do see Dragon Knight in the area as well, so they have to be careful. Here comes the Split Earth, though. Loki does have a double damage, so he's dealing a decent chunk of damage to Dragon Knight. From the back's end, we hear Reality Rift come. Not enough mana for Chaos Bolt, though. Second stun comes up from Tube, it misses. Snaking turns around, he wants in now. Loki's going to get stunned by the Dragon Tail stun, and down he goes to the last hit from the Coddle. A nice kill there, well played by the side of Lust, and of course a couple of missed skills made that all possible. Sloppy plays from Fairy Tale. They got a good lead, but just gave a little bit of it back. Chaos Knight now sitting on 1,000 gold. Magnus picks up a kill on Bounty Hunter in the top lane. Impressive. I'm not sure how Bounty Hunter goes down 1v1. It must have been just sheer shockwave damage, maybe a skewer in the mix, as he is depleted in terms of his mana and it's on cooldown. So nice kill there for Magnus. And do have Illuminate coming in the bottom. This is going to push the wave. Super's pretty low. And the other part of that failed gank was not having enough mana for the Chaos Bolt. which would have almost ensured the kill on Snaking. Loki is going to take some damage from the range creeps as he backs to his tier 1 tower. In the middle lane, we see Queen of Pain continuing to outpace the Gyrocopter by a small margin, 11-9 in hero kills. Now the jump forward by Crystal. We do see Rocket Barrage popped off, but it's only going to hit on creeps as he immediately retreats thereafter. So nicely placed harassment from Queen of Pain to ensure she doesn't take damage in return. Just trying to deplete his regen so you can create an opportunity to open up and get a kill there. Bottom lane, it's all hands on deck. 3 versus 3. We do see Lust is now going to venture back into the jungle. Maybe stack these creeps or go for the trolls instead. So just going to stack them and allow Keeper to farm them. Of course, Keeper a versatile hero in that he can solo farm the jungle. He can kill stacks very easily with Illuminator, of course. Regen rune is going to be found and picked up by Loki in the river. He's going to rotate back towards the lane thereafter. Water at the top lane now rejoins down. No experience. They're still even in terms of experience. So interesting. You get a kill, first kill of the lane for Twilight. Water doesn't fall behind very far at all. So well played by Water to stay relevant, and had Magnus picked up that level 6, one rotation from a support would have been enough to get a kill with the reverse polarity as well. Instead, it looks like Water's going to be able to maintain pace, get his level 6. Really, a level 6 bounty hunter is one of the best ways to just blow up an opposition's tri lane, especially an aggressive tri lane like the one Fairy Tail is running down here. If he can throw off some tracks, they can really get things going. Zeus has picked up level 3, so doing a decent job of maintaining levels, as we can see in comparison. Only level 2 on Shadow Demon, level 3 on Leshrac, and it's going to be important for him to try and get those as high as possible. He is spotted up by Supa, who's running into the jungle. No engagement here quite yet, though. Middle lane, let's see what Strider did. He picked up a bottle as well as, oh, engagement on the bottom. Supa's going to get hit by the bolt, and now Chaos Bolt comes out onto KZZ. KZZ chained off with the Split Earth. He's going to take a lot of damage here. One more hit will do the job, but Supa has to retreat. They can't kill off the Zeus. He's surviving. There's no Dragon Breath available for Dragon. Actually, he'll have it once the stick pops, and he won't need it. He just needs one more auto attack. He's waiting to get the last hit, and there it goes. Snaking picking up a last hit, so it ends up being a 2-for-none trade. 3-for-none trade down here as Leshrac, Shadow Demon, and Chaos Knight go down. Crystal actually rotating in to get one of those last hits on Shadow Demon. So well played there from the Radiant team. Good response, and that's really awesome for them. And now Bounty Hunter's going to come into the middle lane. Track's going to fly into Strider. Strider's in a lot of trouble. He's going to pop off. He should have just called down to try to at least slow it a little bit, but he's not going to use any mana and just drop some more gold on the back of this Queen of Pain as well as on Bounty Hunter. Bounty Hunter now sitting on 900 extra gold. If he wants to work towards phase boots, he'll have them in a moment. Lust will pick up an illusion rune at the bottom river. Supa's in pursuit. He has vision, could reality rift, but decides not to as Lust makes it to the high ground. And Snaking now afforded some time to free farm in the bottom lane. And just put the overlay back on. Whoops. So we're back to the game, and it looks like Supa's going to rotate to the top lane. He did opt to pick up a bottle, so interesting choice for him. He's going to pick up dust as well. It's on the courier on the way out. They can go for a kill on water here, but without the dust quite yet on them, it's going to be difficult to actually get the kill. So we'll see if that's what they're going to do. Here we go. The dust is now on Supa, but we do see movement coming out from Bounty Hunters. He's going to head down towards the middle lane. And CS is favoring Magnus right now. He's 36 for 3. However, after him is Bounty Hunter as well as Queen of Pain. So a pretty even effort across the board from the Radiant CS. A little bit of a difference between the top and the next couple for the Dire side. Meanwhile, middle lane looking visible. Bounty Hunter makes his way into the area. Now Disruption comes up onto Loki for apparently no reason. This could be some kind of next level bait that's not going to work because those losers don't last very long. Either way, it looks like Lust may be in trouble down here, taking some damage from Diabolic Edict as 2 pursues him, but now he's caught in an awkward position. Water's pinching in. He's walking into Crystal, not the best option. Fall down will fly. It's going to hit 2 heroes. Water dropping pretty low. Reverse polarity catches him. He's going to go down to a shockwave, but Twilight is now dropping low. Leshrac's already dead, so 2 kills, and there's a defensive disruption to keep Twilight alive for a moment, but the Illuminate flies off. Zeus actually gets the last hit. Supa now dropping. One more hit will do the job, and there it goes. Crystal picks up the kill there. 4 heroes killed on the dire side. Awesome plays from Lust. And wow, Zeus is just working out right now. I mean, he is dealing a lot of damage with his lightning bolts. Lightning bolt, of course, a low cooldown skill, 6 seconds, and he's just spamming it every time it's off cooldown because he's getting mana from the Coddle, and it seems to be working really well. Zeus is a hero that I mean, many viewers have probably been dying to see for quite some time now, just because it really is a fan favorite in terms of what he can do with that global presence as well as just the overall nuke damage. But there wasn't really an applicable use for him, especially as a solo middle, which is what he used to be. And right now we're seeing him played by KZZ very effectively. Support Zeus. It's a thing. Bottom lane, it looks like they're going to try and engage here. Instead, they're going to turn on Lust, who walked in unknowingly, and he's going to get hit by a cooldown here. He will die. Dragon Knight's the next target. The Reality Rift is not up. Chaos Bolt's up in 1 more second, but they don't want to dive. So snaking in dragon form will survive as he backs up. Twilight comes in from the side. He has Skewer up. He can skewer them back into his team. Crystal's here as well. We see the Scream fly off, dealing a good amount of damage. Twilight dropping pretty low, pops off his arcanes, walks into KZZ, eats the lightning bolt, and now he's dead. We have a rocket flying. It's going to hit on Snaking in a moment. Rocket barrage hits on Crystal, but the ultimate flies out from Zeus, and he kills Leshrac as well. Killing spree and double kill for KZZ on Zeus, and Loki now getting hit by a Scream of Pain, and Crystal is doing work here on the bottom lane. They might dive this even further. Supa's got to be careful. They pop off the drum charges. He has the stun available. He needs to turn and use it, but he's not. Instead, he's just going to drop. And another kill for Team Lust on the Radiant side. Meanwhile, Water picking up some farm on the top lane as he works towards top CS in the game, 42 CS. So did a good job of getting involved when they needed him. And right now, he's farming well. And this tower is pretty low, so maybe a potential tower kill. It could be the first one of the game for any team, and it actually will be, as it's going to go down. They pop off the glyph, and we do have Supa making his way up, but he won't be there in time to save it, I don't believe. Water could be in trouble, though. They might kill him on the back end of it. In fact, he doesn't get the tower kill quite yet. He tries to go all in for it. He can't get it. It's going to get denied. What a play by Fairy Tail. Oh, man, that hurts. And you have to wonder, if he was on the other side of the tower, if perhaps he would have gotten the kill just because he wouldn't have been in range of the Reality Rift as early as he was. But that's really a shame. Queen of Pain does pick up an Orchid, so going to be, an Oblivion Staff working towards an Orchid. Now we'll pop off a Haste Rune, go towards Supa. She's going to try and 1v1 up here. She's pretty safe in doing so, of course, since she is hasted. Scream flies off. He drops pretty low. Here comes a Chaos Bolt. It's 3 seconds. Should be enough time to TP out. He's going to go ahead and buy a TP. We do hear a Lightning Bolt fly off. It's going to be the Zeus ultimate. It's enough to assist the kill. And once again, a kill for Crystal. He is now wicked sick. Wicked sick. And now Strider on the bottom lane is going to be in trouble. 3 seconds until another Lightning Bolt is up. The stun does come in. It's going to hit. Tube, nice job of slowing down that pursuit from KZZ. Now the Edict is dealing a good amount of damage. Lust is going to come in, just block and make sure that his teammate is fine, and he will be. Dive may go down in the middle lane. We see a disruption use onto Crystal. Crystal not going to pursue any further because he's out of mana. And now a TP coming in as well. Pink is making his way in here. Supa's going to cancel a TP, as there were 3 heroes waited with bated breath in the trees for him to show up. Instead, the push is now on. Dragon form, of course, the first level is going to help the push go quickly. Loki behind the tower is taking some damage. He's going to almost drop, disrupts himself, and will survive just barely. Is anyone going to jump in here for the last hit? No. Zeus doesn't have an ultimate for 30 more seconds, so it looks like he'll make it out alive. Water's going to disjoint the missile, of course, which gets blocked by invisibility. Cooldown comes. It's enough to not finish off anyone. That was his teammate. So cooldown whiffing. Twilight's going to skewer away from the action. Strider's going to get hit by a full Illuminate, and now enough damage to finish him off. Another kill for the Queen of Pain, who is now on a monster kill streak. Bounty Hunter, meanwhile, picks up Treads instead of Phase Boots. Nothing too surprising. This game is getting out of hand in favor of Lust. 17-6 is the kill lead. We all expected Lust to be favors, but certainly have done a great job of responding after the bottom lane didn't go ideally for them after the onset of the game. And Crystal is having the courier deliver a second Oblivion Staff, so 400 gold or so away from finishing off that entirety of the Orchid. Tube is in the area. He doesn't even have boots yet. Loki has boots. He can afford that luxury. Supa's leading the way, but he doesn't have any farm. He has a bracer, and at 13 minutes, not exactly where you want your Chaos Knight to be. That usually means that your tri-lane didn't go very well. And now Water's going to walk into the middle lane. Has to be careful. A sentry was just placed. We have a Dragon Tail stun on Supa. And now we do see Crystal coming in from the backside as well. Illuminate comes in. That'll be enough to take down the Shadow Demon. Now an ultimate flies off. The Sonic Wave gets the kill on Gyrocopter. Supa retreating, but he is tracked. So they're going to have a good movement speed advantage. He pops off his ultimate. That removes the track. And enough damage to finish him off. That's 2 more kills for Lust. And that was a whole team wipe. 5 heroes dead. Lust are just putting on a clinic right now, having their way with Fairy Tail. I want to thank everyone that's watching. I'm NYJohn. This is Lust versus Fairy Tail in the quarterfinals of the SECS, presented by NADota.com. I appreciate your viewership. Lust look like they're in firm control of this game, and obviously a really strong side. Go ahead and kill off that missile. Do they want to keep pushing? They popped off the dragon form. Maybe go for the Roche? No, instead they're going to retreat and continue to farm. So Snaking does have those drums. He's had them for a while. Also 1,000 gold in the bank. Farming was pretty tough for him just because, you know, on the bottom lane there was a lot of pressure there. So that explains why at 15 minutes all he has is drums. But still doing really well. If we look at net worth, let's see where everyone is standing. He's in second with 5,200. Of course, as you would expect, Queen of Pain 10-0-7. That's right, 10-0-7 is in first place in the net worth, and that obviously makes sense. And I always like to say that Orchid is an item that if you can get it while you're ahead, it just puts you more ahead. It's a really strong item early on in an advantage. And Zeus is going to pop off the ultimate. It gets the kill on Shadow Demon. Water's going to back up a little bit here. The Illuminate does hit on Supa. Supa's pretty low inside of the base, but they're going to turn their attention to Twilight. Twilight is going to pop off Reverse Polarity. Only catches 1, and it was only Zeus. So instead, Twilight will be taken down. Now 4 heroes pushing on towards the base. Queen of Pain, meanwhile, doing a little bit of diving action. May die here, really low on health, but just barely surviving. Is going to TP out, hit by one of the Shadow Poison, but still going to make it back to her well. This tower is taking a lot of damage. And there we go. Reality Earth is going to pull water into the base, but a really delayed Chaos Bolt is going to result in absolutely nothing. And we do have a cooldown that's actually going to hit on a couple of heroes. Split Earth is there as well. Snaking could be in a little bit of trouble. We see Edict popped off. He is stunned as well. Snaking's going to drop. So a nice kill there for the Dire side, but they jumped right back in. Crystal's not done. Going to convert and get the kill on Chaos Knight. Leshrac is dead as well. And now Strider is going to get taken down with one more hit. And Twilight going to fly off wave, but ends up being a 3-for-1 trade. They lose the carry, but are able to take down 3 heroes as a result of such. And I want to apologize to anyone experiencing lag. I have a couple of frames drop, but not really too much, so bear with it. It should be okay over the long run. Twilight's going to go ahead, drop off the Sonic Wave, but the disruption's enough to save Magnus, and Magnus will almost make it back to the well, but the Zeus ultimate, and KZZ is unstoppable until the tower stops him. Oh, the curse of the game. Right when it calls you unstoppable, you get stopped. That's life, folks. And a brilliant game coming out from him on a support Zeus. For whatever reason, just had to die to the tower there. Snaking charges in with the drums. He goes ahead, uses the Dragon Tail stun on Supa, but now he's taking a lot of damage from the cooldown. In fact, gets Reality Rifted into the middle of a lot of illusions. I don't think he can even move here. And in fact, he will go down. 3 heroes now dead for the Radiant side, 1 dead for Fairy Tail, and he's coming back in a moment. Stun flies off on Crystal. Crystal able to pick up the kill on Leshrac. Supa now going to go ahead. Reality Rift gets silenced though, and Crystal's just going to stand her ground, maybe go for the kill. Nope, instead is going to retreat. Has a missile flying after her as well. That really fast-paced missile as she runs through the tower. It's a level 1, so it won't kill her even if it hits, or when it hits rather. And that's going to be the end of the aggression for a moment. It looks like Zeus is going to be working towards that item I always forget the name of, the Veil of Discord. That's it. Of course, And Lust does have his mech up. We see Dragonite has an Ogre Club. Bounty Hunter decides to pick up a Mystic Staff. And another Ogre Club on Queen of Pain. So working towards BKBs, it looks like. On the Radiant side, the Dire side, we have Belt of Strength up on Chaos Knight, so he's just going for treads. Arcanes are up on Magnus, also 1,300 gold, so working towards a Blink, not quite there. And looks like Leshrac eventually got boots, so that's nice. Meanwhile, middle lane, though, we hear some aggression and her Disruption come out. Ultimate flies from Zeus. They go ahead, Super gets hit, and he'll be taken down. Last hit going to Bounty Hunter as they move in and are going to work on this base tower. And now the tier 3 is going to take some damage. And this could be the first racks of the game. Could be the game also. The sun comes out, it does hit onto water. But he'll be just fine as he gets mech'd as well as earned up by his teammates. There goes the melee barracks. Focus will now be the ranged barracks. And once that is down, I mean, this lead is huge for Lust. They are really sticking it to them. Over 15,000 gold. We're only 19 minutes in. Over 15,000 experience as well. So Lust have played a very well-rounded, solid game. On the flip side, Fairy Tail had a good start, but it just got away from them. Weren't able to maintain their success early on in this game. And they're going to go ahead and switch their focus to the bottom tier 2, which is going to take some pressure now from Crystal, as well as Keeper of the Light. We see a rotation from maybe 4 heroes coming down towards this area. Supa's going to lead the way. Look for Reality Rift here. They're going to use a cooldown first just to farm their creeps, it looks like. So, desperate times. And Crystal's going to go ahead and use the Sonic Wave on Loki. That Orchid's going to pop in. It's almost enough to kill him, but he just gets healed by what must have been his wand. Lust now coming over the high ground. Going to try and get mana to crystallize. Spect instead uses the Blinding Light. And Supa's in trouble now as Water is here, as well as KZZ. KZZ uses the Veil of Discord and is able to just destroy Chaos Knight, as well as get the kill on Gyrocopter. Why not? It's like an added bonus. And they're continuing to push on into the game. Pause comes out from someone not on either team. So unpause comes out, yeah, from that same person. I'm not sure what that was, but we're right back into the game. And it's farming going on in the middle lane. It looks like Bounty Hunter was able to pick up his Shivas, so we'll see Loki retreating towards the well. Crystal is going to go ahead back up, get healed by his teammate, and maybe get some mana here as well in a moment. Nope, Lust instead of going to mana himself. A little bit of greedy, but who cares? The dive, Crystal jumps to try and get the kill on Loki. Loki getting the amount of courage. Crystal gets pulled in with the Reality Earth, jumps forward, is going to get hit by the missile. That'll be enough to kill him. Down goes Crystal as he's trying to 1v5. Will not be able to do so. Rax is being pushed in top lane by Snake King, so he's doing an honest man's work. The tower is down to around half health. We do hear a call down come in just to slow it down a little bit more. Shiva's guard popped off. Bounty Hunter's taking a good amount of damage. He's going to go down to the Split Earth. Shockwave comes in, cleans off a wave. Buyback comes out from BH. That's the end of the aggression for a moment. Lust is TPing somebody, and it's going to be Water. He'll rejoin the action right now. BKB is going to be up on Queen of Pain when she resurrects. We also have BKB available on Dragonite if he wants to purchase it in its entirety. 2 Blink Daggers coming in, one for KCC, one for Lust. So both supports are getting Blink Daggers, trying to style on people. And Twilight's going to go ahead and just get destroyed. Did I see a Dagon? Did I see a Dagon? I thought I did, but I can't find it, so maybe not. But either way, he just got rocked. I mean, there's a whole lot of damage coming out from the bursty heroes on the side of the Radiant. Loki's down here trying to push, trying to get 1 tower this game. I guess that's somewhat honorable. And here we go, dive onto the tube. He's dead almost instantly. Reality Rift pulls Water back. He gets hit with the 3-second stun from the Chaos Bolts, as well as a rocket from the Gyrocopter. Lust is going to go ahead and manage rain on Strider. We see the Shivas pop off. It makes contact with both. KCZ gets 1. He's going for 2. Super just barely surviving. Bounty Hunter takes that kill. And And now the jump forward from Crystal is going to go on top of Twilight. Twilight retreating towards the well. Sonic Wave enough to finish him off, though. And this will be the second racks of the game. Expect to see a GG momentarily. Lust really 42 to 12. Just did a tremendous job of dominating this game. Got to give credit to the usage of a support Zeus and the effective usage of that. I mean, any team could pick a Zeus. Not any team could go 11, 1, and 20 with it. So they really did something right. If a Chaos Knight, as well as heroes like Gyro and Magnetar, aren't getting routine kills on a support Zeus, I mean, something went really well for you. Reality Earth is going to try and pull Crystal into the well. Crystal's just going to back up casually and be okay. Looks like someone's trying to take down these towers. Water, go ahead working on the throne towers. Soup is getting hit by some damage here. Illuminate flies off. And this is some fun well action to round up the game. Now the second throne tower is going to be taken down in a moment. Twilight going ahead and using his reverse polarity cancel. And GG's called. And that's it. Super concedes. Fairy Tail lose to Lust. Lust definitely the favorites coming into this. Could be one of the favorites for the entire tournament. We'll see what they can do up against some of the teams waiting for them. Surely they threw something unique and unexpected at their opponent with this lineup. We'll see what they can do in next game. As they continue to advance, they'll be in the semifinals next time. KZZ is going to get focused here. Can they get the second kill on the Zeus? Reverse polarity, push him into the well, and finally Zeus is killed for the second time. Bounty Hunter goes down for the 6th time. Crystal's going to go ahead and just man up, and the throne is dead. That's the game. Thank you for watching. I'm NYJohn. Follow me here on Twitch, NYJohn TV. Also, check me out on Twitter at NYJohn TV. I appreciate it. Following helps me infinitely, so it really is a nice thing to do if you like my cast. All VODs will be available on my YouTube, youtube.com/NYJohnTV. Once the tournament is over, and we will have another game coming for you soon. Not sure who we'll be with. Find that out and I'll update everything, and we'll see you when that is ready and available. Be sure to check out NADota, where Mott is streaming and commentating the other side of the bracket. So I don't know if he's still in a game or if he's about to get into a game, but be sure to check out both streams. Support everybody. We love amateur Dota. See you soon.